Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Unraveling the Dark Alliance, the dark romance of Jordan and Martin. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates tease Tracy Abbott, Beth Maitland, might be in for a shock if her charming silver fox has been misleading her all along. Tracy has developed deep feelings for Alan Laurent, Christopher Cousins, but it seems that Martin Laurent, Christopher Cousins, could be orchestrating yet another twist in the tale. Despite the belief that Martin perished after the balcony incident, there's a compelling theory that he actually survived and switched shirts with Alan during the aftermath. This raises the possibility that it was Alan who truly died, allowing Martin to reclaim his identity. The series has been hinting at Martin's potential survival and his manipulation of Tracy, suggesting that a significant twist could be just around the corner for the November sweeps. Is this when Martin will falter, revealing Alan as his devious twin? If that's the case, it could set Martin on a thrilling trajectory. Y&R has kept Jordan, Colleen Zank, alive for a purpose, having had numerous chances to end her storyline, but opting not to. Jordan has lived to share her story following the dramatic events with Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, but now she finds herself behind bars in a maximum security prison. Instead of faking her own death that time, it was Victor who faked it but was found out and forced to do the right thing. Unfortunately, the highest level of security doesn't guarantee that Jordan will stay put. She has a remarkable ability to think on her feet, particularly when revenge is on her mind. If she's gearing up for a thrilling November arc, there's a chance her narrative could cross paths with Martin's. It would certainly be entertaining to witness a potential alliance between Martin and Jordan. Tracy appears to be nothing more than a pawn in Martin's elaborate scheme, serving as a means for him to demonstrate that he can fit into a normal life like Alan. If this truly is the twisted Martin, his future with Tracy looks bleak. In contrast, Jordan shares a similar level of mental instability as Martin, making them potentially the perfect pair. Imagine if Martin and Jordan discover love after their paths cross in Genoa City. They could even evolve into a duo of vengeful partners in crime, opening up intriguing narrative possibilities. The Young and the Restless has hinted at some shocking developments this fall in GC, so stay tuned for more predictions about Jordan's return and any updates related to Martin. In the heart of Genoa City, where power struggles and deep-seated rivalries dictate the pulse of everyday life, a new alliance was beginning to take shape, one that was destined to change the landscape of the town forever. The whispers had started slowly, creeping through the corridors of Newman Enterprises and the luxurious halls of the Abbott Mansion. Something was brewing, and it wasn't just business as usual. The enigmatic Jordan Foster, a woman whose allure was only matched by her cunning, had always been a force to be reckoned with. She had a way of making people do her bidding without them even realizing they were being manipulated. Her beauty was dangerous, a weapon she wielded with precision, but it was her mind, a labyrinth of ambition and dark secrets, that truly set her apart. Martin Banks, on the other hand, was the kind of man who thrived in the shadows. A sharp-witted lawyer with a silver tongue, he was the kind of person who could bend the law to his will, making the impossible seem trivial. His past was shrouded in mystery, his origins unknown to even his closest associates. Some said he had come from a world of privilege, while others whispered of a darker, more sinister past. But no matter where he had come from, Martin had quickly established himself as a power player in Genoa City, someone who could make or break fortunes with a mere word. Their paths had crossed many times before, each encounter leaving an indelible mark on the other, but it wasn't until a fateful night at the Colonnade Room, during one of the city's most glamorous charity galas, that their destinies became inextricably linked. Jordan had arrived at the gala dressed in a striking black gown that hugged her curves, her every move a calculated display of confidence. She was a woman on a mission, her eyes scanning the room for potential allies, or better yet, victims. But as she made her way through the sea of familiar faces, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. It didn't take long for her to spot Martin, standing by the bar with a glass of whiskey in hand, his eyes locked onto her with an intensity that sent a shiver down her spine. There was something about him that both intrigued and unnerved her, a darkness that mirrored her own. They exchanged polite nods as Jordan made her way towards him, her mind already working out the angles. She had heard of Martin's prowess in the courtroom, how he had managed to keep some of the city's most notorious figures out of prison. He was someone she could use, someone who could help her achieve her goals. But what was he after? What did he want from her? Martin, she greeted him with a sultry smile, extending her hand. It's been too long. Jordan, he replied, taking her hand in his and brushing his lips lightly against her knuckles. You look as stunning as ever. They engaged in small talk, their words laced with hidden meanings and unspoken promises, but it wasn't long before the conversation turned to business, as it always did with them. I hear you've been making waves at Newman Enterprises, Martin said, his tone casual but his eyes sharp. Just keeping busy, Jordan replied with a coy smile. And you? Still defending the indefensible. Someone has to, he said with a shrug. But I have to admit, I've been keeping an eye on you. You've been doing some impressive work lately. Jordan raised an eyebrow, intrigued. Is that so? Martin leaned in closer, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. I think we could be of use to each other, Jordan. You have the connections, the influence, and I have the skills to make things happen. Jordan's heart skipped a beat. She had always known that one day someone would see through her facade, recognize the ambition that burned within her. But she hadn't expected it to be Martin Banks. Still, there was something about the idea of working with him that excited her. Together, they could accomplish things that neither could achieve alone. What exactly do you have in mind? She asked, her curiosity piqued. A partnership, Martin replied, his eyes gleaming with a dangerous light. We help each other get what we want, and in the process we become the most powerful force in Genoa City. Jordan considered his words carefully. There was no denying that Martin was a formidable ally, but he was also a man with his own agenda. She knew that trusting him would be a risk, but it was one she was willing to take if it meant getting closer to her goals. And what do you want, Martin? She asked, her voice soft but firm. What's in it for you? Martin smiled, a slow, calculating grin that sent a chill down her spine. Power, he said simply, and the chance to finally take down those who have wronged me. Jordan knew then that she was dealing with a man who was just as ruthless as she was, if not more so, but instead of being afraid, she felt a thrill of excitement. This was exactly the kind of alliance she had been looking for, a partnership built on mutual ambition and a shared desire for power. Consider me interested, she said, holding out her hand once more. Martin took it, his grip firm and steady. To our dark alliance, he said, raising his glass in a toast. To our dark alliance, Jordan echoed, clinking her glass against his. As the night wore on, the two of them remained at the bar, discussing their plans in hushed tones. They spoke of the people they would have to take down, the moves they would need to make, and the risks they were willing to take. It was a dance of power, each of them pushing and pulling, testing the limits of their new partnership. But beneath the surface there was something else brewing, a dark romance that neither of them had anticipated. They were two sides of the same coin, both drawn to the other's darkness in a way that was as intoxicating as it was dangerous. As they left the gala that night, the seeds of their dark alliance had been sown, and though neither of them would admit it, they both knew that they were on the brink of something extraordinary, something that would change the course of their lives and the lives of everyone in Genoa City forever.